Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And now, my big question of today is, do you think that the altcoin run or the bull run has already started, or that we're still a little bit out? Let me know in the comment section, yes or no, and let's get on with the video. So, the first article of today is XRP gains a new investor as market frenzy brings in new people. The quest for most gains brings him to the cheap one. XRP bag holders are starting to see greens while Ripple focuses on expanding by opening corridors to APAC and EMEA this year. What's the cheapest coin? Well, as the market started moving, XRP gained the attention of another investor, Will Mead. I'm gonna guess it's Mead. Former PM at Goldman Sachs founded hedge fund announced that his over 80,000 Twitter followers, or to them, that he has gained a position in this cryptocurrency. He said on Twitter just yesterday, "I made my first crypto purchase ever this week, XRP Ripple. I know very little about crypto, but I believe a rising tide lifts all boats. So if Bitcoin goes back up to its all-time high, then XRP should as well, and that would be a 15 bagger, which of course in this case is 1500%. While XRP backholders have been slowly leaving ship, the frenzy in the crypto market is seeing the entry of new people. So basically stating, a lot of these older people are finally, letting the weak hands take over. The weak hands are selling off, but I guess some new stronger hands are also coming in, some bigger investors, some more influential ones, and possibly the ones with more influence and more buying power." He also said on Twitter, "Crypto experts, let me know what you think of Ripple. If it's not a good choice, then what is another cheap one?" So XRP was actually the top performer of 2017 crypto bull run with 36% or 36,000% gains, and the traditional investment community has zero clues what they are doing when it comes to crypto, is a quote that they said. And this guy gets it. Ethereum all-time high is 6 times, Bitcoin all-time high is 2 times, XRP all-time high is 15 times. Well, what I'm thinking here is XRP is not necessarily a cheap crypto. If you actually take a look at just most coins, really, it just depends on what you consider cheap, right? Where do you draw the line of something being cheap? And I would say a cryptocurrency is not necessarily cheap because the price is low, but more so it's cheap for what it should be worth. And that's not even talking about how much there's to go to its all-time high, because the all-time high could have been a lucky strike. The all-time high could have been something that can never happen again, but it could also just be the start of something bigger. And that's what I think when you should consider a coin cheap, is if the coin really should be worth, for example, $10, but it's only worth 20 cents, means it's very undervalued. And I guess for XRP, I don't know what the real value should be, but definitely above 20 cents. And from that perspective, it's very, very cheap. For Bitcoin, if you ask me, again, if we're basing this upon value provided and use case, and yeah, I guess those two are fine. What should Bitcoin be worth? Well, theoretically, it should be worth nothing. Intrinsic, it has the most sort of value intrinsically because, well, there's so many billions of dollars spent in this mining equipment, which is there to keep Bitcoin running. And it's kind of, being spent to get the Bitcoin. It's like the resources for mining gold. And gold, really, what gives us the value is, of course, you can make things out of gold. But it's also, there's quite a lot of money involved with really finding the gold, and it is scarce, right? Which adds to the value. Because really, just having gold is not gonna, be some nice food or anything like that. It's just we attach value to it because of its scarcity and because of the hardness of finding it. Because something just being scarce is one thing, but it also must take a lot of power or money to find it. With oil, for example, yeah, oil has such a price tag. Maybe not that high, but has a price tag because there's still costs of acquiring it. And now oil is way lower because it's way less scarce, or at least there's way more of it at this point. To kind of hand out, and it's probably a lot easier to dig up as well. But with Bitcoin, you could see the intrinsic value given by the mining power and whatnot. From that perspective, there should be some value in Bitcoin. But really, for the rest, it's not that good for payments. It's not that big of a platform like Ethereum and Cardano and whatnot. So yeah, relating to that, it should really be worth zero. And that would kind of mean Bitcoin is overvalued. However, I'm still holding Bitcoin. I'm sorry. Ripple CTO sheds light on why XRP's price is still in cents. He said on Twitter, "My logic is simply that if the price really were obviously too low or obviously too high, enough wealthy people would buy or sell to push the price into a reasonable assessment value. I've expressed this view to many other people in the industry, often about tokens. That's actually for a different part. Often about tokens or just prices generally, and they say I'm crazy and that whales can manipulate the price as they please. I like to believe that, but the truth is that I just don't. And my personal 2 cents on this is whales can manipulate the price, and whales will get it to a value which is proper, right? However, there's always a will above a will. Get that. And for example, what could be done? We don't know about it because we don't get the inside numbers. And maybe this is completely false, but what could be done is, for example, a couple of these billionaires or these very big whales are trying to keep the XRP price low for right now. It's possible, they want to push it down so they keep it low. It's definitely possible. Why is that so? Well, because you could hypothetically speaking, open a very big short position on XRP, and then also just either start selling it massively or just keep opening shorts. And if you beat the bulls that are trying to buy it up, you get the price down. And if you have more money, you're going to get that done, right? That's really how it works, right? Because let's say there are 1,000 people with $1,000 who are trying to go up and 10,000 people with $1,000 trying to go down, or let's say 5 people with $10 billion trying to push it down. Well, those 5 people are, of course, going to be winning, right? That's logical because they have more money and more influence. So from that perspective, this part is true. It will most likely equal out if this was a fair market to a good price. However, how do we determine what a good price is? How does one determine that? That is done by these whales. That's the guys that have the big amount of money. And that's because it's not ever really that obvious and not ever really that simple to assume or to get what the price should be. Why this former Goldman Sachs manager or Goldman manager who just purchased XRP for the first time expected to smash all-time highs? Well, again, this is the same guy, but this time they took a little bit of a different approach with the article name. XRP has had its fair share of naysayers over the years, including analyst Tone Vays and former UFC fighter Ben Askren. The purchase by Will Mead just goes to show that investors are still interested in XRP despite the constant criticism thrown at the asset. And in spite of the less than stellar performance displayed by XRP, its holders still hope to relive the coin's glory days, which will eventually come. And here, basically his saying is, well, you got to go for a cheap coin which has the most amount of gains, and since most of these coins will get back to their all-time high, this is most likely a good bet, and I respect that idea. And let's hope he's right. After Monster Rally, Dogecoin pushing multi-year resistance. Same kind of situation applied for Cardano ADA, and kind of the same type of situation applied to Chainlink and VeChain right now, as these coins are finding some resistances. For Chainlink, not even that much, but for VeChain and for ADA, definitely so. These coins are falling down a little bit again, mostly because they've been gaining for such a long time. And actually, ADA got to the 6th position earlier today, beating even Bitcoin SV, which just shows again how crazy this market is, how crazy these coins are, and just how much of an influence people can have. And here on Doge, you can see this price here. It's just been ridiculously crazy what just happened there. It's a ridiculously big move. Let's quickly check the Doge price here on Live Coin Watch. It's the 27th, still on the 24 hours, plus 20%. If you check it at 30 days, you can see this is just so weird to see. It almost hit half a cent, where it used to be not even, it just doubled or even more in the span of a couple of days. It's really crazy, but that's what hype can do for some of these coins, man. That's just almost what the?
Bitcoin futures.
Oh, that scared the crap out of me. I don't know exactly what article that was, but there's a lot of sound involved. I'm going to reopen that, see if I can get it without sound. No. All right, that was an because I have my ad blocker on. That side just goes berserk with a very freaking loud noise. Oh, damn. All right, but the point of that one was that a breakout was looming, and actually just attached to my question of, do you think that a bull run is coming up here and that it's really already going on and that this is just a little small retracement? The reason I'm asking that is because, well, even though we're going down a little bit today, if you look at the weekly here, it's not actually that heavy. What we're seeing right now is a downfall. And Bitcoin actually is still up over the 24 hours. And a lot of these coins are. So what I'm thinking here is it's definitely still possible that this is just a small retracement and we're going to go up further. And yeah, let's just hope, I guess, because that means more coins for us to accumulate at a cheaper price, which again gives us a nice little premium and more coins in the end. So I'm always happy to get such deals. But also in the end, I think it doesn't really matter that much if you get a 5% lower or 5% higher, because in the end, we're hoping for some very big gains here, not the small 10 to 50% or something like that. We're hoping for the, as said by this investor, 1,500 times and whatnot. And I know it will all be coming, right? Even though there might be a couple of resistances pushing it down for right now, it's just temporary, and that just allows for more opportunities to buy or sell some stuff. Josh Rager says it on Twitter, Bitcoin bills, thanks for ruining the link pump to $7. Because yeah, they're trying to push it down, which happens very often. And what I think about that situation is, well, it's in our zone, possibly, it might be below it. I think maybe the zone that we drew yesterday was till here. And if it goes below that, we're shorting it. Right now, you could already short it possibly and just hope for the best. But I think it's a little bit of an indecisive period where people don't really know how high these coins can go, as Chainlink and VeChain are at all-time high levels, sort of, where things just get a little bit more difficult. But all right. That was it for today, though. Hopefully, you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care and have a very, very nice day. Don't forget to subscribe to 5 Minute Crypto.